Okay, so now that that's out of the way, first thing we want to do is we want to back up our system, right? Okay, so um, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say something like, let's say F disk and we'll say L. Okay, so you don't want to run, you don't want to actually make this live CD, okay, or try to make this live CD. You don't want to make this on what you have running now. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do that. Okay, so say if this is your drive here, you don't want to make the live CD here because essentially what the live CD is, it ruins. Well, doesn't really ruin your drive, but it just makes it like you're booting from a live CD all the time. Okay, so you're always booting into RAM, and that's not the best way to go. We want this just to run, from the live CD. So we need to make two drives. Okay, we need to make two drives, and how we're going to do it is we're going to take one. We're going to take our original install. Okay, take the original install, and we're going to then clone it. We're going to DD the original install over. Okay, to a place where we can use that as a host. Okay, and then we're going to take and we're going to clone the host over to make a target. Okay, so we actually have to clone two drives. So let's go ahead first, and we want to make some room for our drives. So we'll say something like F disk L. Okay, I don't have any GPM, so that apologies out of the way. I can't highlight anything for you guys, but if you look down, you'll see HDBs, okay, like in the middle there. Alright, well, those are my fails right now, so I'm going to delete them. Okay, and I'm going to say HDB. I'll delete 1 and 2. Delete 2. Okay, print. Arc. Right. So basically, I basically just made room for my drives, okay, for the new drives that I want to happen. Okay, so we'll say HDA. Now, my LFS install, okay, is on HDA3. All right, so I'm going to take HDA3. I'm going to take HDA3 and I want to clone them. Let me see, HDB. I want to clone one of them, okay, to my HDB partition or HDB drive, okay. And after I clone that, I'll use that as a host, and then I'll clone the host over, and I'll use that as a target. Because essentially, the target gets ruined, okay. As like a normal operating system, it just gets it's better off for you just to do this than screw up your LFS. Okay, it took you forever to build it. I know it took you forever, but it took me forever to build it. So that's that. So let's say fdisk. We'll say dev HDB. First, we have to make a partition on the drive that we want to use to clone over. Let's say print. There's nothing there. Let's say new partition, primary partition 1, and we're going to say 7 gigs. Okay. Okay. Now I'll show you why 7 gigs in a second. Actually, I should show you that right now. But we'll say write it, and then I'll go back and I'll explain 7 gigs. Because it should be really fast, I think. Come on. Bang. Okay. The reason why I'm going to do 7 gigs is... can I show you this from here? I'm not sure. I don't think I can. I can't. And the next one I'll show you the reason why it's 7 gigs. Okay. But you don't have to worry about that. The reason why, I can explain it to you, the reason why my LFS is 7 gigs, say if you had, I made mine with 6 gigs. Okay. I add a little bit to it. Okay. But I don't want my drive to run out of room. 1 gig is a massive amount of bloat. Okay. But for this instance, it really doesn't matter because I'm going to be deleting both the drives later on, so it doesn't really matter. But also too, if you go through a series of clones, if you say DD, one drive may be, I think the first one I had was 5.6 gigs. Okay, when you say DD that over to another drive, you'll say eventually that'll end up to 6 gigs. Okay. But then when you DD that again, it seems to grow a little bit. Okay. And I've got a little few errors with that, so that's all why I just did 7 gigs. It doesn't matter. Okay, so now that we have our dev HDB set up, alright, this here is going to be where we're going to clone to. Okay, so right now you can assume that we're on our good LFS machine. Okay, and then after this we're going to clone our good LFS machine to our target LFS machine, or not our target but our host LFS machine. Okay, and after that we're going to start working out of the host. We'll clone the host again to make a target LFS, so we don't have to be anywhere near our good stable everyday use if you do that LFS. Okay, hope I did not confuse the shit out of you. So I'll see you guys in a minute. After this, I like to always reboot my computer after I do anything with the part table. So that's what we'll do now. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.